First and foremost, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today. Again, it's always an honor to be in front of you guys and all the support, amazing support we've received. I want to say thank you. Before I do anything, I again want to congratulate North Carolina A&T, one of our conference members, for opening the season with a huge win against another FCS opponent. And I think it brings a lot of spotlight to the MEAC, shows the caliber of our league. And I want to commend Coach Washington for the job that he's done taking over for Coach Broadway. But looking forward to this week, the start of football season. Obviously, we put a lot of work into this week, a lot of preparation leading up into the first game, a lot of excitement surrounding FAMu football. And we're excited as well. You know, we've had 20-plus great days of practice during camp, stayed relatively healthy, which is always critical. A lot of guys have really stepped up and established themselves as leaders on this football team. A lot of our incoming freshmen and transfers have really done a great job of solidifying themselves as major players here for us. And so looking forward to seeing all of it come together this Saturday at 5 p.m. and expecting a packed house. We think Bragg Stadium's going to be rocking on Saturday, and just looking forward to getting out there and playing some good football and hopefully starting this 2018 season off on a great note.
Coach, any butterflies here going into your first game as the head coach of FAMU?
Only with the media.
Just with us.
Just no snafus in the interview process. But no, it's, again, I think as coaches and players, we anticipate this. We look forward to it. The anxiety comes in waiting. It seems like when you're in spring ball, it's just this long, arduous journey of summer workouts, fall camp, all leading up to the first game. And so now that it's here, there's a lot of excitement. There's naturally some anxiety that you have as a coach to make sure that you're prepared. Are we doing enough? Have we pushed them too hard? Have we pushed them hard enough? Are we doing the right things that it takes to make sure these guys are ready to play? But I'm excited to see what they can do when they hit the field. I think we have a group that's resilient, a group that's hungry to bring the wins back to the Bragg Memorial Stadium. And one of our team goals is to win all of our home games. And this is the first one of 6, and we want to make sure we start it off on the right foot. So I wouldn't say that there's a nervousness. There's naturally some anxiety from players and coaches, I'm sure, and fans as well, to see actually how good this football team can be.
I mean, have you allowed yourself to sit there and think that, night game, it'll be kind of getting dark during halftime, big crowd. Have you allowed yourself to think about everything, or?
Well, for us, that's that long wait of game day for coaches. I think if you ask any coach, we'd all rather play at noon, so we don't have to sit around and watch other teams play on TV and, just that long wait until kickoff. So, but again, we're excited about the start times. There's been a very strategic plan to start the games at 5 to try to accommodate not only our local community, but also the community of fans who drive from long places and allow them a chance to come up and possibly be able to get back home before it's too late in the night. So again, excited about the start of the season, and again, it's finally here, and I can't echo that enough. That with all the build up, it's finally game week, and we're just ready to get started.
Coach, there's no film yet because it's week 1, but what do you know of Fort Valley State?
Well, we know they're a team that won't be intimidated by us. They've come to Bragg Stadium before. And the last time they came here, I think it was a 6-point win for FAMU. And so there's a close proximity to the two schools. We're only 2+ hours away from one another. We have a few players on our team from Georgia. They have some players on their team from Florida, even some local guys from the Tallahassee area. So there'll be some familiarity amongst the players playing against each other. And, I don't expect this to be a game where they come in and look at us as the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think they're coming in thinking that they have a chance to win the game, and our guys have to understand that and be prepared to play a 60-minute tough physical football game, execute at a high level, don't beat ourselves, and if we do that, it gives us the best chance to be successful.
Coach, Porter is no stranger to you, and you to him. Does that give you the psychological edge, and do your players know about how badly you've beaten them up in the past?
Well, I don't think so. We don't talk about those kind of things. Again, I don't look at, it's hard to say you don't look at previous encounters with other teams or other coaches, because every year is a new year. This is a new football team. He has a new football team. And so again, our job as coaches is to prepare our guys for the here and now, for what we need to do this coming Saturday. So I don't think that any past history between the coaching staff or even players playing against each other in high school has any bearing on what the outcome of the game Saturday will be. It'll be which team prepares them best, which team can block out all the distractions. It's a home game for us, which there'll be a huge crowd. There'll be a lot of alumni fans, people trying to get close to our players. First week of school, so all the challenges that come along with the first ball game. If our guys can handle that, them traveling on the road, can they handle traveling on the road and all those things? So whoever can handle the adversity the best and then come out and focus and execute, I think gives themselves the best chance to be successful.
Coach, you talked about it during fall camp, the offense, especially learning your playbook. Going into week one, how much of that playbook do you feel like this team, this offense, is comfortable with right now?
We feel like we're pretty comfortable with most of it. The challenge for us as coaches now is to put together a game plan that gives us a chance. Based on the film that we've watched at Fort Valley, what plays out of our vast playbook do we need to carry into the game? Clearly, you won't carry the entire playbook. We're only, going to run about 80 or so plays. We can probably break our playbook down and run 500 plays. And so, which plays will give us the best chance? Which plays do our guys feel most comfortable running right now? And also, maybe not putting it all out there for other teams to scout us on immediately week one. We want to leave something up for, kind of once we get into conference play the following week against Troy. We don't want to just lay it all out on the table and say this is who we are, scout us. We want to try to hold some things back, do enough to give us a chance to win, but also leave a little bit of uncertainty for teams scouting us in the future.
Coach, on the other side of the ball, you've praised this defense all camp too. I mean, you've noted there's really a 1A and a 1B. I mean, how good do you think this defense can be this year?
Well, I think if they play sound football and just play together and do the things that we talk about on a day-to-day basis, chase the football. We can just chase the football. We can maintain our gap integrity. And if we can make the offense earn everything that they get, not give up big plays, I think this unit has a chance to be pretty special. And we have a lot of talent. A lot of tenacity and a lot of opportunistic guys. Those defensive backs have probably made the biggest jump from spring to fall camp with just some of the younger guys that we've added. Herman Jackson, one of our true freshmen, has had a phenomenal camp. Elijah Daniels, one of our transfer students, has really brought a different element to the defense. Matt Green, moving from quarterback this spring to safety now. And again, just a lot of depth on the back end, a lot of natural playmakers on the back end. And so it starts up front, obviously, but I think if we can do those little things that we've been doing all the camp that's been giving the offense fits, I think we have a chance to be a pretty special unit.
Coach, you talked about the crowd you wanted to see in here for the game on Saturday. Of course, the faithful are going to be here regardless, but how nice is it to know you guys are the only game in town this Saturday? Well,
again, I think that just the entire weekend, the starting on really Friday and going all the way through late Monday night with the Florida State's game, I think this whole weekend is going to be magical. First game for FAMu at home, first game for Florida State at home. I mean, Tallahassee is going to be the place to be this weekend, and we're just happy to be able to have our own share of the spotlight on Saturday rather, and then be able to have everyone here. Hopefully, we have some Seminole fans even come and support us, just like I'm sure they love to see some Rattler fans come and support the Seminoles on Monday night. So again, just a great time to be in Tallahassee. 2 new coaches. 2 explosive offenses, a lot of just firepower, hopefully on both amongst everyone here. But it's always nice to know that you're the only show in town on that particular evening because we know that Tallahassee loves their college football.
Coach, you're no stranger to FAMU. You have ties in your family, your wife. You've been to Bragg a bunch of times, but a little different now that you are the face of the program and you're on the sidelines looking into your crystal ball. What do you think that's going to be like now after growing up basically in Bragg and now you're on the sidelines?
Well, the spring game really gave me a good feeling of what it'll be like, again, and that's why I was so excited to see so many people show up to our spring game. Was able to walk out of the tunnel and see a sea of orange and green, to see it from that vantage point, being on the field as opposed to maybe being there as a recruit like I was in high school or being there as a fan as I was growing up as a little kid. To be able to be on the sideline as the head coach is truly a special feeling. So luckily we've had nice crowds out there, the spring game particularly. A couple of our scrimmages, we've had some people come out and watch us, and so the nostalgia of being the head coach at the Florida A&M University, hopefully that won't be something that will distract me from the task at hand, which is getting us prepared to hopefully win our first ball game. But definitely blessed, extremely blessed to be here. A day hadn't gone by that I hadn't been thankful for the opportunity to lead this great program. And I think these guys have done a phenomenal job, and we're just looking forward to seeing what they can do coming this Saturday and see it all come together.
Folks, we've been joined by Jibreel Hazly, defensive captain number 2 from Akron, Ohio. Jibreel, just he's coming from class, so he is excused to be here. We don't often get him out of class for the press conference, but move the WCTV over just a little bit.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Jibreel, just give us your opening statement about the team so far and looking forward to the first game.
I think we came a long way since the springtime, and we're ready for this first game. We're excited, and we put in a lot of work over this spring and summer camp. Probably one of the hardest camps I've been in, so we put a lot of work in, so we're ready.
What made it so hard? What was so different from Willie Simmons camp as opposed to the years previous?
It was a lot more. It was a lot physical, a lot more physical, a lot of running, a whole lot of running, and technical standpoint, like getting back to the basics and stuff we needed to work on a lot. So it was like a lot of mental as well physical. So.
Have you guys kind of fully embraced the hype around this season? I mean, you were at Fan Day, it was pretty crazy then, but have you guys really sat down and thought about, how many people are really, really interested in FAMU football this year?
Oh yeah, we always talk about that and sit around and think about that. We got a lot of fans and stuff, a lot more than we had last year. It's a lot of hype around, Coach Simmons coming in with the offenses and all that, so yeah.
Excited? I mean, a little anxious?
Yeah, we're really excited. Hard to sleep at night.
Coach, go ahead.
Either you guys can answer this. I heard last week that there's supposed to be, and you can confirm this, Vaughn, a human tunnel that at some point the players are going to go through.
Yeah, the players, they're not aware of it. It's something new we're starting this year, a tunnel tradition where the team goes through the fan to get over to the field house.
Yeah.
And it's something part of the fan experience. A lot of the tailgates that were around will all be moved to the Lawson Center. Mm-hmm. So it'll be basically a pep rally before the game, including the Marching 100, and then a human tunnel over to the field house for the players.
So talk about that. I mean, how big is that? I mean, what bigger way to get pumped up for a game than to have your fans right there with you creating a tunnel instead of something artificial?
That's dope. Fans, next to us while we running out, make it more surreal. Playing for the fans, playing for ourselves, our family. So that's cool.
That's a 12th man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to be a surprise, so I appreciate you.
Nobody said to me when I heard it was a surprise.
We know who can't hold a secret.
Jibreel, I've been to a lot of practices, and I hear Coach always talk about the eye in the sky and the fact that we're here in this heat and it's going to be to our factor. Talk about that, because that combined with the physicality has got to give you guys a mental and physical edge.
Yeah, the eye in the sky, that thing real. Coming from Ohio, it's hot, but this is a different type of hot right here. So being in a whole camp with that, just running around, hitting, that's a mental edge alone, getting over that. So when somebody come down here and got to play in this sun, and we used to it, it's going to hit them in the back of the head.
And Jibreel, it seems that the seniors are taking a bigger leadership role than ever in trying to guide the team. Just talk about that, how the seniors are trying to take the lead in the team.
Yeah, it's a lot different because when I came here last year from JUCO, the senior class wasn't like a big leadership. It was good guys, but it wasn't like a family. Now, the new staff and came in and like really installed that family vibe, and the seniors leading the way for the younger class coming in. So, I mean, that's pretty cool.
You excited to play on that new field?
I am.
What do you guys think about it so far? I mean, you practiced on it a couple times, but what do you think about it so far, playing on that turf?
I like it. I feel faster on the turf.
That has to be a big plus, you know, to go from last year to this year in terms of just all of the changes that have happened just in the last year. That has to really pump you guys up, you know, to get ready for the season. You know, the turf, the new coaches, the fan, you know, fan support seeming to be even more, as you say, hyped than before. And we've had some good crowds at Bragg, you know, in spite of everything. So
Right.
it has to. So how does all of everything that's happened make you guys feel?
Make us feel good. It's truly a blessing, knowing I get to come in and see for the first year. Cause like last year, you know, the seniors, they had to deal with all that, and I got to embrace the new setting, new field, new equipment, new coaching staff. You know, so it's a blessing, man. True blessing.
To follow up on that, this isn't your first rodeo as far as a season opener, but is this the most exciting season opener that you've ever experienced?
Yes, definitely. Definitely the most exciting one. A lot more exciting than last year.
Yeah, these past 3 weeks, you know, we've been going through camp, and I feel since I've been here, this has been one of the probably most successful, and we've accomplished a lot throughout this camp. Day in, day out, we got better on all three phases of the ball, whether it be offense, defense, or special teams. You know, it was a long, stressful, long days of camp, but, you know, it paid off, and I expect big things for the Rattlers this season.
Brian, you guys, the only game in town on Saturday, first game of the season. I mean, how awesome is that going to be, having all your fans packed in for this one?
Yeah, that's big, man. You know, there's a lot of hype going into this game. We know it's going to be sold out. You know, a lot of people, over 23,000 people out there on Saturday. You know, here to see the new turf. A lot of people hyped up about that. And, you know, the kids on the team, we know about that. That's in the back of our mind, but we're just focused on getting the job done and beating Fort Valley State, which is what we've been working for day in and day out.
Talk about your command of Coach Simmons' offense.
Oh, like I said in past interviews, spring really helped me a lot, get a feel for it and, you know, understand it. And coming into camp is what really made me easy getting through it for this spring. I had a good understanding of it, and, you know, I got a great hold of it now, and I'm very comfortable with this offense. And
Coach Simmons being a former quarterback, and he works with you guys one-on-one, talk about the mechanical stuff that he's helped improve.
Yeah, it's huge him being a past quarterback. You know, that would be like if you were looking to be a firefighter, you want to go talk to a guy who's a firefighter or something, you know. So him having that experience and being in the same shoes that I was in the past is huge. So, you know, he helps a lot day in, day out with mechanics, reading defenses. You know, he does a great job with all of the quarterbacks.
Speaking of reading defenses, I know you don't have any film from this season, but looking back on what Fort Valley State did last year, I mean, what have you seen from their D?
From what I've seen so far, I've seen a lot of three, but you know, a lot of teams that showed three on film in the past, since we have a lot of passing offense, they switch it up against us. So, you know, we're just preparing for every look, and whatever they come on Saturday, we'll be ready to play against it.
How confident are you going out there running this offense for the first time in a real game situation?
I'm real confident. You know, like I said, we had a few scrimmages in the spring, which it was somewhat live, but not like a game atmosphere. But I'm more than ready to go out and show what we've been working for these past few weeks through camp and all of spring.
Does it go through your head at all before this first game especially? Do you start kind of envisioning what it's going to be when you walk into the stadium, what it's going to be when you take the huddle for the first time? I mean, what do you start envisioning as the week goes on?
It's funny that you say that, because 2 nights ago I knew it was game week because I had a dream about the game. And, you know, I happen to do that a lot when it comes to these big games or first games. I just have a dream about the game, and I just started visualizing myself just going out there and making plays with my guys and just doing our job and taking our coaching and executing.
Was there a final score in that dream?
No, there wasn't. There wasn't actually. There wasn't. I woke up, but nah, man. You know, like I said, I just visualize and just get prepared as best as I can for Saturday.
Brian, how do you feel about taking the responsibility for the offense? Over the last few years, teams had pretty good defenses, and then the offense struggled, and then the defense would get tired, and the result did not end up well. How do you feel about now being able to take the offensive load and help out the defense and special.
Well, being the quarterback is like you're either the hero or the zero. You know, either the fans are gonna love you 1 week, or if you lose, they go out and hate you, and that's just part of the role. But you know, I love that. You know, touching the ball every play and having such a big input into the game, and the outcome is just what I love, being a playmaker and getting the ball to playmakers as well. You know, I just love the position of quarterback and all the roles that it comes with.
And talk about your playmakers. Looks like you have a team of playmakers on the offense.
Yeah, man. Y'all know Chad Hunter, Xavier Smith. We got a few backs too. You know, there's a lot of explosive keys that we got in this offense that you guys will see Saturday.
Just from Willie Simmons to maybe previous coaches that you've had here the past couple seasons, just what's the vibe like from him and in the locker room, especially on game week? How is it different maybe from last year?
I would say with the last coaching staff, they were a little bit older across the board, and this staff is much younger, and you know, can relate to us more and just knows how to really like get us going. I could say like even the last staff wouldn't want us playing music and stuff in the locker room before games, but you know, they let us have a little swag and go out there and just do our thing, you know. And you know, with having our first practice on Sunday for game week, you could tell the enthusiasm and you know, everything's just a little more up tempo, and everyone guys are fired up and just ready to go out and show everybody what we're capable of.